All right, thank you, Eitan. Well, Jazz 88 is a City College radio station with a huge following. The legendary Miles Davis would have been 100 years old this week. So how did those two come together? Well, Jazz 88 is going to become Miles 100 for 100 Days of Summer, honoring the jazz icon. And here to tell us more, the most jazzy guy I know, jazz musician Dave Scott, along with KSDS radio manager Ken Poston. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
So first, Ken, tell me a little bit about how this all came together and why.
Well, we knew with Miles's 100th birthday coming up that we needed to do something special. We're one of the last all jazz radio stations in the world, really. And we really felt like the iconic Miles Davis needed to be treated a little different than what we would normally do. So we just tried to come up with an idea to where we could do something extremely unique and extremely special. And the Miles 100 idea came along to basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day that we'll feature a lot of Miles and kind of the world of Miles Davis, not just Miles, but so many of the musicians who played with him, the composers and arrangers, record companies, record producers, everybody that was in that orbit. And he was so influential that there's so many musicians and younger musicians that have come along since Miles Davis that still he is incredibly influential to them. Yeah. So we're trying to do something that kind of displays all of that.
And when you're talking about younger musicians, you mean Dave Scott.
Exactly.
Who obviously...
At one time, I was younger.
Well, but very influenced by Miles Davis. But you also, we were just talking about, has spent a number of years at City College. So this makes so much sense to me, knowing your involvement in both.
Absolutely, yeah. I taught at San Diego City College for 16 years, actually while I was here at KUSI. Yeah. And it was a great experience. And you really are immersed, because back then in those days, as Ken knows, the old LPs. Yeah. And that's how we'd play that music. And when you hear Miles on one of those records, it is just otherworldly. And he really was otherworldly too. Because he was such a creative force in a way that very few musicians really were. He demanded respect from everybody across the board. He'd give a concert and people would sit around him as if he were a guru, and he really was. He was one of a kind. And so that's why they're celebrating. Plus the music. You go back and the records we were playing, everyone, of course, remembers the Kind of Blue album, 1959. But he was so creative in those mid-50s through early 60s. The great thing about Ken that everybody admires is this man is one of the great historians of jazz, and just got done writing a book about Jerry Mulligan, the great saxophonist, especially with the West Coast sound, and congratulations on that, Ken. Now this Miles thing has got to be exciting.
Well, and so I would figure a lot of this people will share stories, share moments as well, correct?
We're going to do, every day at noon, every weekday, we've got a production we're calling Sketches of Miles. And so, however many weekdays there are in 100 days, probably around 70-ish, I suppose. Every day at noon, an hour-long, kind of in-depth journey through Miles's career that'll start on Tuesday, on his actual birthday. And it will be the beginnings, and then we'll move through and hear the music. And in many cases, there will be guests for those. There will be guest hosts that have expertise in a certain era of Miles Davis. And when it's all said and done, it should be pretty unique thing, pretty impressive body of work, because we have such knowledgeable program hosts, all of whom various hosts will be doing each of the programs, and there'll be interview segments with, historical interviews with Miles and John Coltrane and different people like that, as well as guests today, people who've played with Miles and so on. So it's going to be an interesting thing every single weekday.
Okay, so people can listen in.
Yes.
Okay, and hear Dave Scott? And hear Dave Scott?
Oh, I think we might get Dave in there.
Okay.
Might show up there, of course. It's another home away from home, KSDS.
Just talk him into coming in a few times.
I saw that. All right. Well, thank you both for coming in. Dave, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Alex.
You know, you can come hang out on the couch anytime.
I love seeing everybody here. I mean, and the places, of course, has changed so much, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about Miles. You're going to hear over 40 years of his work.
Wow.
That's a lot of stuff.
All right. Ken, Dave, thanks so much for coming in, sharing. Can't wait to listen.
Thank you.